Team communication can be hard. And in this video, I'm going to give you not only a custom GPT that we've made for my team that creates something called a working with me document, but I'm also going to walk you through how to set expectations and how to communicate better through this working with me document, and it can completely transform the way that you and your team communicate together forever. Hey y'all, I'm Trevor Mock, the CEO of a company called Carrot.com. And over the years, we've hired dozens and dozens and dozens of employees. We've hit the Inc. 5000 list 5 years consecutively. And I've had lots of challenges with team communication, just like you probably have over the years. Where you've hired people, whether it's a person that works directly with you, an executive assistant or an executive or a direct report. And invariably, you have those moments that pop up in a Slack conversation where you go, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have sent that. Or man, I missed this message and they sent it to me over here and I just never would have seen it over there. Or if someone brings you feedback and you get defensive because it wasn't brought in the way that maybe you like it, or vice versa. You'd like to give feedback right away and maybe they didn't accept it the way that you would hope, because you didn't mesh and you didn't understand how each other communicate. Well, as I've gone over the years, especially as we've hired more people, we start to recognize, of course, that we have amazing people, but everyone's a different personality. Everybody learns differently. Everybody works differently. Everybody communicates differently. But how do you take different personalities, different work types, different communication types, and mash them together to work amazingly well? Well, it all comes down to communication. And communication, I wouldn't say, is one of my strong suits historically as far as communication on the day-to-day. Okay, I can communicate here. I love training. I love coaching. But oftentimes I move so fast that I don't communicate clearly how I want to communicate with other people. Okay, so this was a number of years ago, I think 6, 7 years ago, I came across a book called The High Growth Handbook from my coach, Dan Martell. And he pointed out this resource from a gal named Claire. Now, Claire was the COO, I think it was of Square, the big multi-billion-dollar company. And when she came into any company, she created a standard to be able to help communicate with people and say, hey, here's who I am. Here's how I work. Here's how I make decisions. Here's how I want to be communicated with. And it changed the game for how people could communicate with her. You started to see resistance and friction start to roll away. You started to see people able to work through things more effectively because they knew exactly what and how to communicate to Claire. And so I took that about 5 years ago and made my own working with me document and rolled it out. And recently this past year with my clients in my Epic coaching program, we made a custom GPT that guides you through the entire process of creating your working with me document. And another cool thing with it is if you have conflict with a coworker, or you just want to make the co-working arrangement with the two of you really, really good. It could be a business partner, it could be your EA, it could be someone you're working with. If you want to make that amazing, this same custom GPT we're going to give you at the end of this video is also going to give you a path on how to work with that person better. You put in a couple scores from your personality assessments, whether it's a Colby or a predictive index or an Enneagram, and it's going to walk you through exactly how where you guys are going to probably find challenges and weaknesses, and where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are, how to communicate. It's even give you paths on what type of meetings you guys should probably have to enable you to work together even better. All right, so hold on to the end of the video for that. If you're on the podcast version, I would encourage you head over to the YouTube version. Just go look me up. It's Trevor Mock, M-A-U-C-H, Entrepreneur Freedom Formula. You can find me through either route there. Find this video, and then you're going to be able to see in the description the link to this custom GPT. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my computer screen. I'm going to share my current working with me doc. Okay. The first time I made a working with me doc, it was agonizing because the way that my personality is, I in the Colby, I'm a 6 on the fact finder, meaning I like to sit there and look and research and look and research. And sometimes I will delay making a decision because I'll set it down and I think I got to get more information. I'm a 2 on follow through, meaning I'm way comfortable having a bunch of things undone. And it's hard for me sometimes to push things past the finish line. I'm an 8 on quick start, meaning I'm going to start things up. I'm a visionary. I'm okay having 3 half-read books on the nightstand. Okay. And so with that type of personality, it's sometimes a little bit hard because I want to move really, really fast. And I think people can read my brain, but we all obviously know that's not true. So I created that first document. And it did make things better in certain parts of the company, especially with my executive assistant and I, because she helped me make the document. It put all the things on the table for how I wanted to work. Now, here's a couple of challenges I want you guys to avoid. When I rolled that document out initially, I did let the team know that it existed, but what I did not do is I didn't keep pointing people back to it. Okay, so if they tried to Slack me and assign me in a public channel, I don't check public channels. I only check DMs. And so I wouldn't send them back and say, hey, awesome, didn't see that, but check out my working with me doc, because that gives you guidelines on how to get to me quicker. So that's something I would encourage you of, that this has to be a living, breathing document that you're sending people back to over and over again to train them. Okay. So with the working with me doc, there's a few sections. I'm gonna run through those sections, and I'm gonna show you this custom GPT. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. We're going to give you a link to it, and I encourage you to use it and create your working with me doc, and or go through the other path, which is put in your personality assessments with you and a coworker you're wanting to improve that work relationship with, and it'll give you tips on how to do so. Okay. So the main things on a working with me doc that you want to include, you want to first of all include your best work hours, right? What hours do you work? What does that look like? Okay, what are your core hours? What focus time do you have? Literally name out these blocks of time on my schedule are focus time. Now, if you don't have focus time, if you don't have core work hours, if you're like, man, whatever's on my schedule or whatever comes my way, that's probably your first problem or your challenge. We have done trainings here on the YouTube and here on the podcast that walk you through how to create a better schedule, how to create a better week. Just go dive into our archive here. But your work hours is number one. That way people know what are the rules on when I should send things to him or her and when I should not. Okay. Next thing you're going to want to talk about is how to best communicate with you. Okay. Because each one of us are a little bit different. So what methods do you prefer? Do you prefer Slack? Do you prefer phone calls? Do you prefer long conversations? Do you prefer often? What do you prefer? For me personally, I don't really like Slack. I'd rather have a text message and a phone call, or we can do quick exchanges on Slack, but I'm only really going to be checking our primary leadership channel or Slack DMs. Okay. So lay that out. What does that look like? What are urgent things? If it's urgent, well, these are the things that are urgent. The things that are not urgent, when should they bring you those? Okay. Another key one is how you make decisions, because we make decisions differently than our team members. And if we don't tell them how we make decisions and what we want them to bring to us, we might get frustrated, or they might get frustrated. And that's happened lots of times over the years for me. I have to continually fight through making sure that I'm being clear what I need in order to make a decision. And so that's something that's continual work for me, but putting it on paper has helped, right? How do you approach decisions? Is there a format that you want people to bring to you so you can make decisions more quickly? Things like that. How do you want to give feedback? How do you want to receive feedback? Lay that out so people know how to approach you. And also so you let them know, hey, here's what I would prefer. Is this okay? How do you want to collaborate? Do you want to collaborate by you do most of the work, then you hand it off? Do you want to collaborate in a group? How do you want to do collaboration so people know when to bring you into efforts and when not to? Okay, let people know how you work best. Okay, what are the setups and how you work best? For me, I work best when I have giant blocks of uninterrupted time, like an entire day of uninterrupted time. I can get 3 weeks of work done in that day. But if I have my calendar just sliced and diced, I'm not going to be able to get my best work done. Okay, what motivates you? What frustrates you? What you value in a teammate? And then at the end, I usually summarize it with your top 1 or 2 personality assessments. I'll throw in the AI summary of who is this person? Like, what do these summaries mean? How do they work? And then it gives a bottom line. Hey, bottom line, I lead best when I'm moving, learning, building with purpose. I need people around me who can help anchor the chaos, catch the details I miss, and bring structure to the ideas I love to launch. Be real with me, take initiative, and stay connected to the mission, and we'll do great work together. Okay. One thing I want to show you before I introduce you to the AI model and then give you the link is every single word in this entire document came from the custom GPT I'm about to give you for free. Now, this document and this resource, I haven't opened up to anybody outside of my company and outside of my high-level Epic coaching program for CEOs. Okay, we're working with people who are running high 6-figure, going into 8-figure companies per year. This is one of the AI models out of my Team OS processes that I'm just going to give away for free here on the YouTube channel because I love y'all, and it's been a blast being able to get to know you guys and just being able to blast to share. So I'm going to encourage you to pop in the comments box below once you make your working with me document and use this model. What did you love about it? Are there any resources that you want me to make on the AI side and introduce you to? So let's pop over here to the GPT model now. Okay. So if you want to make your own GPT, which you could, but you don't have to, because I'm going to give you the link to this in the description of this YouTube video. You could feed into it instructions to say, look at these personality assessments. Okay. Here's how I want you to act when you're looking at them. Give me this type of feedback in this format. And then you're going to have to feed in the format of a working with me document that you would want to use into the custom GPT area. That's all the things we've already put in here. So the first thing you get to do when you pop over here is you get to pick one of these two choices. Okay. If you want to go direct to the source and get your working with me document created, click that one. But if you want to learn how to work better with a coworker, a specific person, click that one. And it's going to take you on two different paths. Now, both paths end in a working with me document for you. But if coworkers or other people on your team want to use this, I'd encourage you to send this to your coworkers as well, so they can make their own working with me documents. Okay. Last couple tips as you use this is, once you have your working with me document created, I want you to post it everywhere you possibly can for your team. If you use Slack, post it up in your profile, pin it to the top of a channel if it's your leadership channel, if you wanted to. In your emails to your team, maybe put it in there somewhere. If you have a playbook or a company dashboard, put it up there really, really high. If you have an org chart, have everybody have working with me docs that are linked up on the org chart. Or at the very least, just remember, anytime someone comes to you and communicated in a way that maybe didn't work for you, or that was frustrating for you, or that just didn't work, remember, okay, let me look at my working with me doc. Is it addressed in there? If not, update the document and then send that document to them and say, hey, Johnny, I want to make sure that you've seen my working with me doc. I appreciate you sending this my way. Look over here in this portion here, because I want to be the best partner I can possibly be. If you're able to go through this section and just resubmit that thing to me following that, I'm going to be able to get you a quick decision on this, and I'll be the best partner I possibly can. Okay, communicate those quickly and often, and I think your relationships and your communication are going to improve drastically. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the Entrepreneur Freedom Formula. Pop in the comments box below here on YouTube. What was your biggest takeaway? And or go use the working with me document in your business and let me know, how did the AI model work for you? Did you use the document? What was your biggest takeaway from it? Okay, guys, if you liked this video right here, guys, you're gonna love another one where I walk through the 3 ChatGPT models that every CEO should use. I give you the prompts, give you the whole thing, and it can create an amazing business growth consultant for you right in ChatGPT. Check out that video right here. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.